Hey you guys, it's Peter, and I'm back. Okay, so I have no idea how to start this video. I've started this video like 7 or 8 times. I called a very dear friend of mine, and kind of asked her about it. I've sat here and I've started it so many different ways, and so I just want to speak from my heart. For those of you that don't know, Sam from the YouTube channel Here for the Tea, and from the Instagram account, and from Twitter, passed away this past weekend. I'm really sad. It feels surreal. I first want to say thank you to her friend Jen, who is also one of my dear, dear friends, for reaching out to me immediately. And I also want to say thank you to Manny for calling me after he spoke to her sister. And it feels really, really weird. I couldn't sleep last night at all. And I sat up and I wrote a list of like 9 or 10 things because I wanted to share with you guys the Sam that I knew, and the funny things, you know, from whenever I would call her, she would answer the phone and she would say, "Girl." G-U-R-L-L-L-L. Because I always call everybody girl. Or all the times that she like begged me to hunt down and find the everything bagel spice from Trader Joe's, which I could never find. I never found it. And the Starbucks cups, and just us talking about our dogs and her loving her spa days and all of that. And so I called Jen. I've had a lot of loss in my life, you know. And when you go through loss, you kind of like have these weird conversations with the people that have passed. And I thought to myself, like in the past, you know, when I would call Sam when something like this would happen on the internet, you know, and I would say, you know, should I film a video? She'd say, film a video. That's what you do. You know, you're a drama channel. Sit down and film a video and talk to your people. And I said that to Jen, and Jen said that's exactly what she would say. She would say, film a video, film a drama video. That's what you do, you know. So that's what I'm doing. Was a really, really a life cut short. And, you know, a couple of things I do want people to know is that, you know, I saw all of these comments online, and they're just like glowing, beautiful comments about Sam and what a contribution she made to the drama commentary community, and how she single-handedly changed the beauty guru space and holding people accountable. And I think that goes without saying. When I started doing drama commentary, there were only 2 other people that were doing drama commentary, and Sam came along and she changed the whole face of how that looked, you know, and was very receipt driven to a point where she encouraged me to do it, and I said, girl, I don't edit, you know. But what I want people to know is that she was a perfectionist when it came to her videos, and she took a lot of pride in that. She took tons of pride in that, and more so than I think anybody ever knows. You know, I sit down and I push record and stop and go throw it up. And that was just not the case with her. She spent months researching things, looking up receipts, going back in time. And, you know, she and I spent a lot of time going over paragraphs. She would send me a paragraph and she'd say, does this sound right? And, you know, I would change a couple words. And then I would send it back and she would say, oh my God, you really are a writer. I'd say, oh, thanks. You know, and then she'd send it back to me, and she had changed it back to the original sentence, basically saying she didn't like what I had changed. And so for the people that wonder why she hadn't put a video out in so long, that was the reason, is that she had 2 or 3 ideas that she had been working on for quite some time, and she didn't want to post them until they were perfect in her eyes. And they were really well researched, good videos, you know, important videos that should be out there. I think most importantly, and I asked Jen, I said, what do you think Sam most importantly would want people to know? And we both knew it immediately, was Sam's absolute entire love for her dog. My dog Boo Radley is here right now. He's like, we just, I would come in the house and I would be talking to her, and the dogs would be barking and she would be laughing, and and she loved to feed her dog pizza. So when she had me on speakerphone, I'd say, pizza, pizza. And she'd say, don't. And, but anyway, she'll be missed. And, I think that's what I said to Jen. I said, what do you think is a good way to remember her? And she said, I think through her dog. So I think, hug your pets a little closer today. And I wish people had been able to see that funny, hysterical, ordering noodles and salad because she didn't want to leave her house because it was too cold. Driving through McDonald's, ordering poutine when I didn't even know what poutine was. Having to have the very newest cold brew, which I think she posted a lot, on her social media about she loved the cold brews with the cold foam. Us Drama Channel community, we're just normal people like everybody else. And she'll be missed. So anyway, go back and watch some of her older videos, and remember what a contribution she made. So here's to you, Sam. All right. I don't really know how to transition into the drama part of this video. And that's what I was talking to Jen about on the phone. And I said, I had like this list of all these things that I wrote, in the middle of the night. And I was going to just make, a dedicated video. And and Jen was like, no, Sam would have thought that was phony, And she kind of would, like that was the thing. Like, Sam was one of the realest people I know. And actually, one of the things I wrote down, and I do want to say this, is that Sam was somebody that stuck to her convictions through everything. And if there's anything that I respect in somebody, it is that, I love the quote in the movie The Contender, that principles only mean something if you stick to them when they're inconvenient. And Sam was definitely somebody that stuck to her principles and her convictions, especially when they were inconvenient. And it's definitely a lesson that I can learn from. So, all right. I tried to put together today because for me, when I get the comments from people that say, thank you for the lighthearted drama, thank you for this, thank you for that, I'm going through a breakup, or somebody passed away and I'm going through this, it really helped me get through that. So that's what I'm trying to do today. I'm trying to do like a lighthearted video. I don't really know like how to transition into this. So the things I want to talk about today are Jaclyn Hill trying to be relatable, and I want to talk about Trisha Paytas being extremely problematic again, and Jeffree Star being problematic as well. So speaking of Jeffree Star, let's start with Jeffree Star. All right. Jeffree Star recently did a video where he did a tour of his closet. I don't know if you guys, I think it was the black vault closet this time. Now, I have to tell you, when I watched the whole video, when I first saw this video, this is just my immediate reaction to the video, okay? When I saw the title come up, I went and I looked and I was like, is this from recent or was this from years past? Because I thought, didn't he give all of his stuff away? Didn't he say he was giving all of his luxury stuff away and he was done with it and all of that? This was just my immediate response, okay? Don't come for me. I'm just telling you what I thought, right? So then he goes in and he does this video, and he did make a comment during the video, I noticed, that he's like, yeah, I'm not like buying anything new, or I don't really, whatever. But it's like he has this extensive, closet set up, and I just was like, I don't know, this is really interesting that and this is where I feel like with these YouTubers that are so problematic, it's like, you know, you come out and you say one thing, and then you do the exact opposite, and you wonder why people question you, because it's either A, you are so just completely oblivious to what you have said in the past, which, yes, I do believe that Jeffree Star says many, many things and forgets that he has ever said them. That's number one. Number two, I believe that he does cause drama by doing that. It's like, I'm going to say that I'm giving everything away, you know, and then the very next day having a pair of Versace sunglasses on, and I'm done with, you know, all this kind of stuff. And he didn't say he was giving everything away. He said just his priorities had changed, and he didn't like the luxury stuff as much anymore, you know. Okay, Jeffree. And what's interesting to me about that is, you know, and I talk a lot about this on my other channels, there's nothing wrong with wanting to have a Louis Vuitton purse, okay? There is nothing wrong with wanting to have, you know, a Balenciaga sweatshirt, or, you know, a Balmain coat, or, you know, a Chanel bag or something like that. But it doesn't define who you are as a person inside. It doesn't say anything about who you are as a side. It's just a handbag. It's just a coat. It's just a sweatshirt. It doesn't make you better or less than anybody else, except for the fact that you can afford it, unless you're overcharging on your credit card. So that's really the only thing that it says, okay, is that I can afford these things. It doesn't say anything about you being lesser or greater than somebody else. That being said, I know a lot of really good people, I mean, angels on this earth, that treat people very well, that have very high-end handbags. So, I mean, there are good people that like nice things. That doesn't have to mean, you don't have to be like, my way to prove to the world is that I'm going to give away all of this kind of stuff, okay? So there's the first thing. So then Jeffree comes out and he makes a comment, or somebody makes a comment on his video, and he responded and said, are we delusional? Or this is a person critiquing the fact that he did this tour, right? And he responds and says, are we delusional, or did you not watch the rest of the video? I never wanted to tour the closet. Well, oh, hold on a second. Everyone asked for it, so I did it. I could give it SHI toot about anything in there and don't care about handbags anymore, but I guess you can't fathom that. Well, girl, didn't nobody force you to do the video? Oh, everybody asked me to do this video. Everybody asked me to do this video. If I had $1 for every video that people asked me to do, that I refuse to do, because I'm not going to talk about certain people, you know, if I had $1, I mean, in all honesty, I could sit here and list the people, okay, that I don't talk about on my channel, because those are things I don't talk about. Jeffree Star is going to sit there and act like he was forced into doing a video on his channel. No, Jeffree, you know these are the kind of videos that people are interested on in your channel, okay? They're not really that interested in your makeup launches, which is basically the only videos you do. They're not really that interested in your reviews, okay? So really, they're only interested in watching your high-end luxury item videos, okay? So to act like he was forced into doing this is just bizarre to me. Oh wait, but it gets better. That's not it. Okay, so then Jeffree Star comes out with this video. And I saw a lot, at first I kind of was like, ooh, I don't know what I think about this. And I saw a lot of people making comments about this. So Jeffree Star did this video, and the video is called, here it is, I'll put the screenshot up there, Top Mexican Makeup Artists Do My Makeup. Now, I have to tell you, this is, I think, really interesting to me that he, A, picked this title, and B, picked this, you know, topic. The Latino community on YouTube is massive, okay? Massive. And the fact that he is trying to tap into that, to me, is very, very interesting to me. I mean, there are like beauty influencers, booktubers, there are people in every community that are part of the Latino community that are like thriving beyond belief, that because they've kind of like, you know, there's not a lot of people that are doing that. And so I asked my husband, who is Venezuelan, and I said, what do you think about this title and this thumbnail? And Alex's response is, why they gotta be Mexican? Like, okay, he was just like, it's just, I don't understand why you would put that in the title. Like, why can't it just be, you know, this makeup being done? Okay, by the way, I just wanna say, let's flash that hairdo up there. Do you remember back when Jeffree Star said, good morning to everybody except for the guy that used to do my hair? Jeffree, here's just a word of advice to you. Hair by Jay should be let go for that hairstyle alone. I don't, is that Marie Antoinette? I'm confused as to what's going on with that hairstyle right there. But you know, this is where if I say anything like this in the video, people are like, oh, you're shaming him. No, girl, that hairstyle would end up on the worst list, okay? On any magazine, from Vogue to, I don't care, what, OK Magazine or whatever. That hairdo is a hair don't, as Tracy Turnblatt in the movie Hairspray said. That hairdo would end up on the worst dress list ever, okay? Period, end of story. But anyway, I think it's interesting that he did this, you know, and I want to shout out Malcolm, who, from the YouTube channel, It's Malcolm, said in the, underneath his tweet, he said, it's the way Jeffree Star made sure everyone knew that they were Mexican instead of, oh, I don't know, using their names. And it's a really good point, right? So anyway, go in there and check that video out. So that's the whole Jeffree Star thing about him being problematic again. And I'm just like, Jeffree, can you just stay out of any kind of drama for just 2 days? Okay. So then let's flow into Jaclyn Hill. So Jaclyn Hill, well, y'all know, I've done like 5 videos now on Jaclyn Hill in this launch from the jewelry line. The jewelry line was botched, okay? Or not the jewelry line, but the launch was botched. And, you know, first it was this, and then it was that, and then it was, you know, like, we had too many people on the server, then it was we were cyber attacked, and then it was this, and we still don't really know what happened. She came out and she made a statement, and I'm not going to do a whole other video on that statement, because Jaclyn Hill's statements are starting to cycle at this point, okay? There's like, we started here, and then we went here, and then we went here, and they don't really make any sense, and she's like, you know, it's like, you know, it's like, what did you do this weekend? And it's like, you know, when you were a kid in high school and your mom would say, you know, did you go to the library? And you did go to the library to wait for your friend Judy Smith, who picked you up, and then you drove around, smoked clove cigarettes, and drank Boone's Farm wine, you know? And then she's like, did you go to, you know, did you go to the library? Yeah. And then what'd you do? Well, did you study? Yeah, boys. I mean, you know, it's like she cycles with these stories, and they don't make any sense. And it's like, Jaclyn, do you even believe these stories? So I was talking to a friend on the phone, and I said, and then she said, what do you think is going to happen with Jaclyn Hill? I said, she's going to try to get relatable, because that's what Jaclyn does. She's problematic, and then she tries to get really relatable, okay? When I read you the tweet that Jaclyn put out, I'm just like, she is so far past even being relatable anymore. So Jaclyn Hill put this statement out, or this tweet out, and she said, I love the grocery store. Do you, girl? Okay, well, listen, okay? I don't know about you, but I don't think Jaclyn Hill would love going to the Meijer at 6 o'clock in the evening when you got to stand in the self-checkout line and there's 15 people ahead of you and all you want to do is get home, okay? I don't think she would love the grocery store that much. But anyway, Jaclyn Hill says, I love the grocery store. I know that's so random, but I could happily sleep overnight in a grocery store. Okay, girl. First of all, you've been watching too many zombie movies where they live in the grocery store. But I did love Dawn of the Dead, where they lived in the mall. Did you ever see that one? That was one of my favorites. But anyway. So Jaclyn Hill, she's trying to be relatable, and she's posting all this stuff about food, and it's just like, oh, Jaclyn. Okay, so here she is talking about how she loves. It's always that, right? It's always problematic followed by relatable without really any answers. And then on the heels of this complete mess of a launch, Jaclyn's posting how many orders they're sending out, and they're sending out 4,000 orders and all this kind of stuff. And what's interesting to me is when you start doing the math and you look back, like right, the math that Jaclyn Hill has provided for you right in front of your face, right? So it's like Jaclyn Hill holds up a card and it says 1 plus, and then she holds up a card that says 1 plus 1 equals 3. Jaclyn Hill holds up the cards, right? And then she's like, why are you coming for me? Why are you coming for me? Like, you don't even know what you're talking about. And I'm like, Jaclyn, you were the one that said that nobody could get on your site. Then you said that your site was fixed. Then nobody could get on the site again and everybody was complaining about the site, okay? Then you said that a few orders went through. A few orders went through on a site that at 1 o'clock when it launched, completely crashed. Completely. Not a little bit so that some people could get through and buy it. It completely crashed, okay? A website completely crashed, but yet people still got through to be able to buy it. Now, I don't know about you, but sites that I've gone to that have completely crashed, you can't get on it, you can't purchase anything, and why the hell would you want to if it was completely crashed, okay? But now she's talking about all the orders that she's putting out. So I'm like, I don't know, like something stinks about all of this to me. And so then what she always do, let's get relatable. Now on the other side of get relatable, we got Trisha Paytas, okay? Lord. Just when I thought it was over with Trisha Paytas, okay? I need some lip gloss for this one. Trisha goes, and I mean, it is one thing after another, okay? And this is where I said, do you remember in a video, 3 videos ago, something like that? I said, it's AdSense months. November and December are AdSense months. Trisha Paytas is going to start becoming extremely problematic, okay? And it's going to be all kinds of antics all over the place. Trisha Paytas knows this, okay? Trisha Paytas has even talked about AdSense months in videos before, right? Also talked about how they don't make a lot of money off of AdSense. Well, I don't believe that if you go look at the numbers. So this is where we're going to start seeing a lot of like big stuff coming out from Trisha Paytas, right? So I'm over on Trisha Paytas' Instagram the other day. Hold on, let me pull up the thing. And Trisha put this Instagram story up, and she was at the Hare Krishna temple in Los Angeles. And underneath it, she said, "Peace begins when you accept that you neither own or control anything." Okay? And then put this saying underneath there that I don't know. And then put several pictures of her, of them at the Hare Krishna Community Center, right? Okay. The comments underneath here, let Trisha have it. So let me see if I can find the comments. I had them all pulled up. Hold on a second. Of course I had them all pulled up. That's why I don't have them all pulled up anymore. Okay. So here it is underneath here. I mean, people were like, oh, Trisha, come on, right? So here are some of the comments. When you watch a Bollywood film once, baby, please, no, please. She identifies with everyone except a privileged white woman. Hare Krishna. Christian is greater than Jewish, is greater than Hindu. Girl, and that's talking about the different, no, it's not greater than, sorry. Christian goes to Jewish, goes to Hindu. Like, this is the religious movement that Trisha has made. Trisha collecting religions like infinity stones. Hare Krishna unlocked. I knew the comments wouldn't disappoint. Please stop making a mockery of religion. She thinks cultures are cosplays. Oof. It goes on and on and on. People are just like, they are not happy about it. Wonder how this is going to play out. Oh God, no, dude, stop. It's not even funny at this point. And Trisha goes on and on and on and just, you know, and then Trisha posted on their Instagram story, hold on a second. I mean, these receipts are all over the place, I'm sorry. Trisha posted on their Instagram story, let me get to this, just a second. Being vegan just gives you such great karma, okay? Because now Trisha is coming out, okay, mukbanger of the world, Trisha Paytas is coming out and saying that they are vegan. Well, as a vegetarian on YouTube, this is not going to fare well for Trisha. I'm just going to tell you right now, okay? If you mess up one little bit as being a vegetarian, and I'm not vegan, I'm a vegetarian. Let's make that very, very clear. I've been a vegetarian for 4 years. When you mess up, do you guys hear this dog in my backyard? My neighbor's dog? Do you hear that? How am I supposed to make videos when I'm sitting here with that dog barking in the backyard? He don't care. Honey Badger don't care. Trisha Paytas don't care. But anyway, when you mess up just a little bit as a vegetarian or a vegan on YouTube, people let you have it. And I kind of think Trisha knows this, okay? I mean, there have been people close to Trisha. I mean, Nikocado Avocado was vegan. I think he was vegan. He was either vegan or vegetarian and then completely changed. And when it happened, I mean, people let him have it, right? It was like this whole thing. And of course, everybody has, you know, feelings about what's healthy and what's not healthy and what, you know, what you should be doing for your system, and like, is it healthier to eat meat or not eat meat? And so everybody's got an opinion about it, right? And so now Trisha, who has offended literally every community that is possible at this point, okay, is now vegan. But that's not it, right? Like, the Hare Krishna thing to me is so interesting. I mean, seriously, how am I supposed to make a video? I had to stop the camera because the neighbor dog just continues to bark, and then my dog started barking, and then it was like madness. And so I'm like, and I don't think he's gonna stop. So I'm like, I just gotta finish this video. I gotta get it finished. But anyway, so Trisha Paytas goes in, and they post this picture of this elephant and says Hare Krishna, and then post a Christmas tree, okay? And I'm like, at this point, I'm like, Trisha, seriously? Seriously, Trisha? Like, I'm laughing because it reminds me of back in the day when Trisha would do the eating videos, and what's her name? Freelita and her banana chips. Last time I said it, all these people like corrected me. I'm like, do you guys not remember back in the day, like when I did videos way back in the day talking about Trisha's mukbangs? That Freela or Freely and her banana chips, that's what I called her. I called her Freely and her banana chips and her husband Duran Duran. Because his name was something like that. And so I called her Freela or banana chips. Apparently she's an ASMR channel now. I don't know. But Trisha would sit there and would eat like these just like huge, you know, spoonfuls of whipped cream. And this was back when the trolling wasn't really that bad, okay? When the offending communities was like, the community you're offending is, I don't know, Freela and her banana chips. But now it's like, what community, I mean, I just feel like Trisha sits there and just thinks like, what community can I be offensive to now? What's like the next, you know, big community that I can be offensive to? And not only that, okay, but this is the thing. It's like, for all these people that literally do, like my mom, in all honesty, and I know people are like, oh, okay, come on. But like my mom back in the day, like she took like converting to religions very, very seriously. My mother grew up Episcopalian and she converted to being Lutheran. She took that very, very, very seriously. Like we had long conversations about it. And later in life, my mom thought about converting, you know, to other religions, and she was like, you know, this is like a really big deal. This is not a joke. Like, you study it, you go to classes, you know, things like that. You, like, change your lifestyle. So for Trisha to kind of just make this huge joke about it, when to the rest of the world, it's a very, very serious thing, you know? I mean, and I think the other thing that Trisha completely just, like, misses the mark on is that there are like huge world events occurring around religions, you know? So to just make a mockery of like, oh, this week I'm this, and this week I'm that, and this week I'm this, and this week I'm that, and just go with the flow, it's really, really, really disrespectful. I mean, it's really, and it's disrespectful to a majority of our audience that probably identifies with some religious aspect, right? So it's like, Trisha, what are you doing? Like, I really don't understand it. And then to come out on top of that and to say that they're now vegan, I'm like, okay, this is going to be interesting. And this is the thing that I really don't think Trisha gets or cares about. I don't know. But at this point, like, Trisha's offending communities is not, it's not funny. It's not interesting. People don't even care anymore to some degree. They're kind of bored of it, right? They're like, so what did Trisha do now? You know, it's like, and then it's just all of this around Trisha. And it's like, I don't know that Trisha can be any more offensive to anybody else out there. I mean, I'm sure there is a community that Trisha can be offensive to that they haven't been already. But at the same time, it's like, come on now, you know? It's like, why don't... And this is what I don't understand. And I said this when the whole frenemies thing went down. If Trisha Paytas... And this is where people don't want to do the work, okay? This is where people don't really want to improve. And I said the other day in my video, they want to circumvent around the truth. They want to say, show me what the truth would look like, and I'll just do that, right? Or I'm going to do what's easiest. Well, what is easiest is going to lose you your career, Trisha. I'm telling you right now, okay? People are already less interested in you. A lot of people bonded with Trisha because they saw this person that was kind of like, you know, growing on YouTube, the American dream to some degree, and they're like, hey, I like this. I relate to this. I relate to Trisha talking about weight issues. I relate to this. Trisha likes luxury items. I like luxury items. I can't afford them. Here's a person that kind of rose in the ranks and now can, you know, afford these things. But what Trisha is doing now is making themselves like so obsolete to any kind of relatability whatsoever. I mean, there's Jaclyn Hill, right, that tries to be relatable and isn't. And then there's Trisha that is so far from relatable. It's like, what are you doing? And the more disinterested people get, the more that they're just going to be like, I can't keep up with this and I don't care and I really don't want to watch this, okay? I'm not going to watch a meditation video where you talk about now you're a Hare Krishna and you're vegan when next week it's going to be you eating a steak and the video is going to be, I'm vegan now, right? And then the next video is going to be eating 5 steaks in a row. And we already know that, right? Like, that's the formula for Trisha Paytas. I mean, does anybody really think that Trisha Paytas is seriously going to be a vegan? I mean, for any kind of period of time? I'm sure I'll get some backlash and people will be like, oh my God. I mean, it's just, it's the pattern with Trisha, right? And this is what I said with the frenemies thing that I didn't understand. Why doesn't Trisha Paytas, like, go and take 6 months off and really work on themselves and figure out what religion they really do want to be, do a spiritual, you know, journey, and what works for them, not just what is popular or what's going to get the most views or whatever, right? And really figure those things out and come back and speak their truth. And sit in a video and say, I've really taken a long look at myself. I've been off social media. I'm not consumed with it anymore. And I want a different kind of life. And this is who I am today. People would flock back. I don't think Trisha understands that. You know, that through the years, you know, 2,000 here, 5,000 here, 1,000 there. Those people that loved the early days of Trisha Paytas would flock back in droves. They would be like, oh my God, this is a grown-up Trisha Paytas. This is a Trisha Paytas that is not problematic anymore. I don't think that Trisha has the ability to do that. I think Trisha needs a lot of work, right? But that would be like a relatable Trisha Paytas that could come back and say, I'm going to get on video 3 days a week and I'm going to share with you guys my journey and whatever, right? So, you know, it's like when Trisha posts pictures of, like, losing weight on Instagram, which they've been doing a lot lately, those kind of pictures, I mean, there's the haters out there, but those are the pictures that people are like, hey, like, congratulations, like the old fans. That's what people want to see from Trisha. They don't want to see all this weird stuff. They want to see the relatability. They want to see, like, who are you really? I mean, I really think that's what YouTube is about, you know, these days anyway, is that people really want to see, who are you really, you know? Like, who are you when the camera is shut off? Not like, who is this performance that you're putting on for that nobody really knows who you are, right? I don't know. It's sad. It's really sad. So anyway, let me know what you think about all of that in the comment section below. I love you guys, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.